another day, live in someone else's way. I wanna be happy, I wanna be free. Fuck what they say, I'm doing me.
And it's that time. Are you ready? All right.
Yay!
Welcome to the Laugh Tavern again. Another Tuesday night, 5 p.m. SL time here, hanging out with friends. Did you guys hear about the earthquake that happened today off the coast of Alaska?
Yeah. They
It
had a
was crazy,
tsunami.
right? There was like a tsunami and all that.
Mhm.
You know, apparently Donald Trump tripped over his own stupidity and fell into the Pacific Ocean. You know, what's the difference between your girlfriend and a walrus?
Oh.
Wow.
One has a mustache and smells of fish. The other one's a walrus. Ooh. You know, updating your relationship status in public, sure, that's fine. Updating your relationship problems in public, that's stupidity.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
That's great.
y'all are gonna love this one. My favorite sexual position, they call it the Chilean minor. That's where you go down on me and you stay there till Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
Mm. You know, a patient is visiting their doctor and they say, "Doctor, I get heartburn every time I eat a birthday cake." And the doctor says, "Well, next time, take off the fucking candles, you moron." You know, masturbation is like procrastination. It's all good and fun till you realize you're only fucking yourself. What do women in police cars have in common? They both make a lot of noise to let you know they're coming. Oh, children in the back seat of cars cause accidents, but accidents in the back seat of cars cause children.
Oh, it's true.
Life lesson.
Where did you find that at, Mr. Spock? Totally logical.
You know, Dad always thought that laughter was the best medicine, which is why I guess several of us died from tuberculosis.
That's sick. That's great. I love it. It's dark. So dark.
Here's one for why not. If a single teacher can't teach us all the subjects we need to learn, how the fuck is a student supposed to learn all the subjects?
That's right.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
You know, childhood is like being drunk. Everyone remembers what you did except you.
Yeah.
Remember that time you shit in your diaper on your rocking horse? You know, orphans don't play baseball because they don't know where home is.
Oh.
We're the orphans.
You know, I usually don't have time to study, but when I do, I don't.
Mm.
You know, when I see ads on TV with a smiling, happy housewife using a new cleaning product, the only thing I want to buy are the meds that bitch is on, right?
Yeah.
She's high off the bleach or something. I seen an ad in the newspaper today. Actually, it wasn't an ad, it was a story. I fucked that up already. It says, Duracell Bunny arrested, charged with battery. You know, all I ask, actually, well, you know the saying, you know, they say, money can't buy happiness. Well, you know, all I'm asking is a chance to prove that money can't make me happy. Just want a chance. I was part of a band called Lost Dog. You probably saw our poster on the streets of Milk. We were pretty famous at one time.
Mm.
You know, the only acceptable place to slap a woman is on her ass. Hashtag me too. And with that, I'm gonna bring up why not?
Why not?
Yay! Oh boy! Oh boy.
Hi.
Unfortunately, I have a lot of recycled stuff, but before that, I have some other recycled stuff. This old man's walking down the street one afternoon. He sees this woman with perfect breasts. And he says, "Hey, miss." Oh, I got to get up. I'm sorry. I got to get up. I forgot.
Don't worry about it. I'm laying on the floor over here. Look at me.
Yeah.
I can never even get on the stage. Anyway, I have to walk up here. All right, am I on the stage good enough for you now?
Yeah, you're on the stage now.
But am I in the right spot?
Now you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, buddy. So he
You
says,
sound like you're drunk, though.
oh, let me move
Oh,
on.
so she's doing better today. Huh?
Old man walking down the street one afternoon when he sees a woman with perfect breasts, and he says, "Hey, miss, would you like me to bite you on your breast for $100? You let me do it, huh?" She goes, "Are you nuts?" And she keeps walking. And he turns around and runs down the block and around the corner before she gets there. And he goes, "Hey, listen, how about if I give you $1,000? Can I bite your breasts?" She goes, "Listen, I'm not that kind of woman. You got it?" So the old man runs around the next block and he faces her again. "How about $10,000? Would you like me bite him just once for $10,000? She thinks for a while. She goes, 10,000? Well, okay, but just once, but not here. Let's go to that dark alley over there." So they go to this alley. She takes off her blouse and reveals the most perfect breasts in the whole world. He grabs them. He starts caressing them, fondling, slowly, kissing them, licking them, burying his face in them, but not biting them. And she's like, well, when are you going to bite them? Are you going to bite them or aren't you? And he goes, "Hell no, it costs too much." So this woman's learning how to golf. She's been teaching herself to play for like 3 months, and she's really, really bad. So she decides to get a golf pro to help her. When she sees the golf pro, she explains how bad she is. He tells her to go ahead, hit the ball. She doesn't. The ball goes like 50 yards in the brush, slicing to the right. And the golf pro says, I can see you've got a lot of problems. Your stance is bad. Your head's all over the place. But the worst thing is basically your grip. He says, grab the club gently as if you were going to grab your husband's club, you know what I mean? And then when the feeling's right, go right ahead and swing. She does just that, and the ball goes off the tee perfectly straight for about 275 yards. The golf pro says, "That's unbelievable. I didn't even think you'd do that well. But we got to go on to your next problem now. How are we going to get that club out of your mouth?" Yeah, when Bill and Hillary first got married, Bill said, "I'm putting a box under their bed. You got to promise never to look in it." And in all their 30 years of marriage, Hillary never looked in the box. But on the afternoon of their 30th anniversary, curiosity got the better. So she lifted the lid, she peeked inside, and in the box there were 3 empty beer cans and $1,874.25 in cash. Well, after dinner, she couldn't hold her guilt anymore, and she said, "Look, I'm really sorry, Bill, but for all these years I kept the promise. I never looked in that box under our bed, but today the temptation was too much. I gave in. But now I need to know why you keep the empty cans in that box." And Bill thought for a while, and he said, "Well, I guess after all these years you deserve to know the truth. Whenever I was unfaithful to you, I put an empty beer can in the box under the bed to remind myself not to do it again." And Hillary was shocked, but she said, "I'm really disappointed, and I'm sad, but I guess after all those years, away from home on the road, temptation does happen. I guess 3 times isn't that bad, considering the number of years we've been together." And they hugged, they made their peace. Well, a little while later, Hillary said, "So why do you have all that money?" And Bill says, "Well, whenever the box filled up with empty cans, I took them to the recycling center and redeemed them for cash."
Damn. You drank enough for like 40 people in 40
I
years.
did not have sex with that woman.
Tony had just finished reading a new book. It was called You Can Be the Man of Your House. So he stormed into the kitchen and said to his wife, "From now on, you got to know I'm the man of the house. My word is the law. You will prepare me a gourmet dinner. When I'm finished eating, you're going to serve me a sumptuous dessert. And then, after dinner, you're going upstairs with me. We will have the kind of sex I want. Afterwards, you're going to draw a nice big bath so I can relax in it. You can wash my back, towel me dry, and bring my robe." This is for you, Doc. "Then you can massage my feet and my
Sounds like an
hands.
average day.
Tomorrow, guess who's going to dress me and comb my hair?" And his Sicilian wife, Gina, says, "The funeral director would be my first to guess." "Dear Abby, I've never written to you before, but I really need your advice. I've suspected for some time now that my wife's been cheating on me. The usual signs: phone rings, but if I answer, the caller hangs up. My wife's been going out with the girls a lot recently, although when I ask their names, she always says, 'Oh, just some friends from work, you don't know them.' Yeah, I try to stay awake and watch for her when she comes home, but I usually fall asleep. Anyway, I've never broached the subject with my wife. I think deep down I just didn't want to know the truth, but last night she went out again, so I decided to finally check on her. Around midnight, I hid in the garage behind my golf clubs so I could get a good view of the whole street when she got home from the night with the girls, so-called girls. Well, when she got out of the car, she was buttoning up her blouse, which was open, and she took her panties out of her purse, and she slipped them back on. And at that moment, crouching behind the golf clubs, I noticed there was a hairline crack where the grip meets the graphite shaft on my tailor-made 460 driver. Now, is this something I can fix myself, or should I take it back to the PGA Superstore?
Hardcore.
An elderly guy goes to his doc's office for an annual physical, and after a while, the doctor says, "Look, I'm sorry, Bill. We have discovered you got a condition. It only allows you another 6 weeks to live." And the old guy's like, "But Doc, I feel great. I haven't felt better in years. This can't be true. Isn't there anything I could do?" And the doctor said, "Well, you might start going down the street to that new health spa and take a mud bath every day." And Bill's like, "Oh, will that cure me?" And the doctor said, "Well, no, but it'll get you used to the dirt."
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
That's cool.
A man named Bill woke up on his birthday, and his wife and kids didn't even say good morning to him, so he left for work in a huff. But his receptionist, Joanna, said, "Happy birthday." And he says, "Wow, thanks, Joanna. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me all day." And he was... They worked till lunch break, and Joanna asked if he wanted to go out for lunch. And instead of taking their usual lunch just outside, on the bench, they went to a beautiful bistro. She said, after they ate, "Hey, my apartment's just around the corner. You want to visit?" He said, "Well, sure, why not?" And at her apartment, Bill sat on the couch, and Joanna said she'd be right back and stepped in the bedroom. Well, minutes later, she came back out, followed by Bill's family, friends, and coworkers, and Bill just sat there, naked. This is for Randy. Randy, this is for you. It's an annual superheroes New Year's party. Batman and Spider-Man are chatting. All of a sudden, the Hulk rushes in all red and perplexed. "What's up?" asked Batman. "Well, I was upstairs looking for the toilet, and I passed the bedroom. I saw Wonder Woman naked on the bed, moaning and groaning, and I started feeling kind of spunky and thought, what the hell?" And I jumped on top of her. "Oh, was she surprised?" asked Superman. "Oh, yeah, but not half as surprised as the Invisible Man."
Whoa.
Ouch.
The surgeon went to check on his very famous patient after an operation. She was awake, so he examined her and he said, "You're going to be fine." And she said, "Well, how long will it be before I'm able to have a normal sex life again, doctor?" And the surgeon seemed to pause, which alarmed the girl. And she goes, "What's the matter, Doc? Will I be all right? Am I all right now? I will be, won't I?" And he said, "Well, yeah, you'll be fine, Miss Lewinsky. It's just no one's ever asked me after their tonsillectomies." During a recent staff meeting in heaven, God, Moses, and St. Peter concluded that the behavior of ex-President Clinton and Representative Condit had brought about a need for an 11th commandment. 11th commandment. They worked really long and hard brainstorming in a session to try to settle the wording so that it had the same style, majesty, and dignity as the original 10 commandments. And after many revisions, they finally agreed the 11th commandment should be, "Thou shalt not comfort thy rod with thy staff." I do have more if you need it later, but I'm going to stop now for Synnove and Doc to go.
Hey.
Going.
Yay, why?
All right. Give it up for why, everybody. Give it up. Yay.
Alright. I'm just going to sit here on the floor. Synnove, you can go ahead and take over.
Synnove's here?
Oh, I don't
Yay,
have my
Synnove!
Yes,
Yay, Synnove!
It
Where's
just
Synnove?
poof. Snow just poof.
Uh-oh.
Really? Oh, no.
You not here?
It poof. I saw it poof.
She tried to
Oh, she
move,
must
and
have
she crashes when she tries to move.
Oh,
should've
wait, next
told her
time
to
just tell
move.
her to do it from the seat.
No, she didn't have to move. She never does. She usually just says she won't. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's fine. I can tell a couple jokes here.
Well, just kill some time. She'll probably relog. She'll be back.
Yeah, I'll watch for.
I can come up whenever you're ready.
Well, Randy, are you going to tell any jokes?
Randy,
Randy?
are you going to do some?
Oh, he doesn't have his voice on. You know what that means.
Oh, yes, we know.
Yeah.
The animals are there.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll tell a couple
Thank
jokes
you.
then, just kill some time. Alright, as you all know, I'm in the grocery business.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got hired on, my boss told me, you have to be flexible to work here. I was like, okay, yeah, I got you. No, you're not getting what I'm saying. On many occasions, you'll be asked to bend over and grab your ankles.
Doing the position.
I've come across a lot of things on the internet, but I really hate, when you come across an article, it looks really awesome, so you click the link, and you find out it's a slideshow, so you throw your fucking computer out the window. I'm not going through this damn slideshow bullshit.
Or the robot voice. How about that?
I hate that feeling when I'm about to hug someone extremely sexy, and then my face hits the mirror. I was so close. What's the difference between a clever midget and a venereal disease?
Oh boy.
Before I gotta pee. Hurry.
One is a cunning runt, and the other is a running puppy.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
You have two choices in life. You can stay single and be miserable, or you can get married and wish you were dead.
Yep. That's the truth. Yes, sir.
Even people who are good for nothing can bring a smile to your face. All it takes is a push down a flight of stairs. A mom's talking to her daughter, her 14 or 15-year-old daughter, and she says, if a boy touches your boobs, say don't. And if he touches your pussy, say stop. And the girl's like, but Mom, he touched both, so I said don't stop. If I ever have the chance to get interviewed by police sketch artists, my only goal will be to see how far I can get before he realizes I'm making him draw O.J. Simpson. I just want to see how far I can get with it. What makes men chase women they have no intention of marrying? It's the same urge that makes dogs chase cars they have no intention of driving. Yeah, there's a new trend in our office where I work. Every time, you put names on your food so people know what their food is. I saw it today while I was eating a sandwich named Kevin. And with that, I'm gonna bring up Doc. Come on, Doc.
Okay.
Somebody lost his voice.
Hey! Hey, what's up, Doc?
Am I up? Okay, I must have lost voice because I didn't hear anything for a minute. Okay.
There you are.
All right.
Evan, oh my God.
Okay. In case anybody was riding the tsunami in Alaska and didn't hear the news, we've had a lot of stuff going on here in our country and in the world lately. We had a government shutdown that, an official shutdown, put it that way, an official shutdown. We had a couple other things going on, and as you know, my humor is usually topical because, the truth is funny. So, in the age of Me Too and Screw Him and all the other things, I want to talk about something that is very controversial, okay? But I think it has to be brought out into the open, okay? I want to talk about farts, okay?
Brought out into the open.
Yeah, out into the open. Farts are natural, okay? Farts are a way of life, all right? Farts are non-secular. They cross racial, economic, gender, and professional lines equally, okay?
Yeah.
And farts are funny, okay? But there are also rules for farts, okay? Now think about this. Rare is the time you'll be standing in a store talking to someone and they rip a screamer so loud it shakes the windows, right? That's not a place for it.
Damn.
We have a place for that, okay? It's called a restroom. Should be called a fart room, but, it's a restroom. It's a funny name for a place to go release farts indiscriminately, since usually farts are followed by taking a dump, and that's work for someone my age, so that's hardly a rest, okay? So, you won't bust ass in the frozen food section next to John Doe, but you got no problem assaulting his ears, nose, and throat in the restroom, as that's a place to do battle with your ass, okay? Now, people look at you funny when you fart in public. But when you fart standing next to them while taking a piss, they nod approvingly at you. Have you noticed that? It's your ability to make your ass talk. Why is that, It's kind of like stepping into the squared circle, You don't punch the other guy in the locker room, but you beat the shit out of him in the ring, right? The time and a place for everything. So, you don't fling shit breath at your neighbor in public where he can walk away from it. No! We stick him in a small room and detonate a Scud missile when he's trapped trying to take care of his own business, right? So what does he do? He fires back at you with his own cauliflower-based aerosol attack in an attempt to defend himself. Because everybody here agrees, okay? Everybody agrees. The smell of your own farts is okay. But when somebody else sprays their partly digested lasagna at you, you're grossed out, okay? Why is that? No? Shit is shit, right? Now, think about this. Have you ever tried to imagine what people's farts would sound like compared to how they looked or act? Here's an example. I was standing in the restroom, and in walked this guy. He works up front. He's got to be 6'5", 230, built like a wall. I was going to say built like a brick shithouse, but we're already on the subject, and I don't like overstating that. Okay? So he comes in, he leans into the urinal, and he starts the knee-bending routine we guys all use to get into full-blown stand-up piss mode, right? And out comes something that can best be described as squeezing the air out of a balloon. That high-pitched noise that's so irritating.
That's okay. Save it for me.
Yeah. I've known this guy for months. I've known this guy for months, and he puts on like he's some alpha male type that would kill you if you looked at him wrong. And in that one moment, my entire opinion of this guy changed based on his fart, right? Now I'm looking at his ass like he's some kind of pervert, and it's so tight it squeezes out a high C-note pitch of a fart. Gee, Fred, I didn't know you were a singer. Everyone says you're a tight ass. I agree with them now. Now, in contrast, this little wash bay kid comes in, little high school kid comes in. He goes in to take a dump, right? And when he sits down, he busts ass so loud it rattles the mirrors in the restroom. Okay? In that second, I developed a newfound respect for this kid, right? As soon as he wiped and washed his hands, of course, I shook his hand and I promoted him to head of the department, right? Because my motto is, as go your farts, as goes your career. Advance your status, people. Fart assertively, okay? Now, myself, years ago, I had to have spinal surgery because I had some tumors inside my spinal cord. It was cutting off circulation to my legs. I'd been paralyzed. So they went in and they cut them out, right? The operation was a success with several interesting side effects. Not the least of which is that I had no control whatsoever when my farts decide to free themselves and enter the world. Okay? Stuff like bending over, walking up steps, coughing, anything that involves basically anything except breathing, and there we go, okay? Now, over the years, I've been very quick to cover my anal gunshots with quick coughing, skidding my shoes, clearing my throat, and dropping whatever's in my hands to cover the echo of my cheeks bouncing against each other for 4 or 5 seconds uncontrollably, right? However, I haven't yet mastered how to mask the unbelievable smell of what is soon to be heading for the sewage treatment plant, so I just leave the room and let God sort them out, right? Now, everybody's heard this. You ever hear somebody fart and it sounds like they shit themselves?
Yeah, well,
That
they do
wet,
sometimes.
squish kind of fart. And they just stand there like pretend like it's all good, and you know damn well next time they sit down they're going to stand up with shit stains, right? I feel sorry for those people, right? Now, ladies, I don't have personal knowledge of this, but I wonder if women cheer each other on like men do when they fart, right? Men compliment each other when they fart. Hey, Jim, way to cleanse your colon. Thanks, Bob. You can clear a room pretty good yourself. So, ladies, do you do the same? Wow, Gladys, good thing you're not wearing nylons, girlfriend. Woo-wee. I got a question for you, Ladies, if you're wearing a thong and you fart, can you play a tune like when you take a blade of grass between your thumbs and blow on it?
Oh, my God.
I need to go listen to that, right? But, how about when a girl with a big ass farts, and it sounds like someone's clapping, right? And then everybody else starts clapping, and pretty soon it sounds like a Whitesnake concert, right? Not so easy! Now, farting is as American as apple pie. And apple pie makes for some tasty smelling farts a couple hours later, so one goes right with the other, right? But I'm told English people don't fart. They are too refined. Maybe that's why all English people I know are grumpy, right? Holding that in all day has got to be disappointing. I mean, it's bad enough it rains every fucking day in England. Now you can't even have the genuine pleasure of a room-clearing release of gaseous proportions, right? Now, true story, folks. Ever try to light your farts?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Trust me, they light.
They do.
Growing up, we had one kid in our group we ran around with who could literally fart on command, right? I mean, this kid trained his ass to talk. He could say, "Hello, how are you? My name is Joe," by farting on command, right? So one weekend, we're camping out in our woods treehouse that we proudly built with 100% stolen materials, right down to the nails and the welcome mat, right? Everybody's had one of those. Anyhow, we're all sitting around swigging Boone's Farm wine the one kid's older sister bought for us, and smoking cigars that I'd stolen from my grandfather, and we're getting shit-faced on 1.2% alcohol. We're big fuckers, when somebody dared Mr. Talking Ass to try and light his farts, right?
Oh, God.
He gladly obliges, and he pulls down his pants, and he pulls out the lighter. You know those old kind that you flip open and you got to flick them, not the Bics, the old metal ones with the lid on them, He pulls it out, and he positions it rearward, lights it, and he cuts loose with a blast that would take down a 100-year-old oak tree. I'm telling you, The blue flame that shot from his ass looked like the second stage of a Saturn V rocket ignited. Amazing. It was almost 2 foot long. Now, he was standing at the back of the stone clubhouse, and the fucking flame ignited the hanging picture of Miss July 1972. So we jumped up and started beating the flames out so we didn't burn the fucking place down, right? Now, Torch jumped when the air was sucked out of the room by his ass flame, and he moved his hand too close to his ass while still expelling, and guess what? He scorched his ass pucker. And he let out a scream like a prisoner on Get to Know Your Neighbor Day at the state pen. I'm telling you, it was something to behold. He rolled on the ground with his pants down around his ankles in extreme pain, and he grabbed the Boone's Farm bottle and began to douse his asshole to stop the burn. Now, everybody knows one thing that does not make a fresh cut or burnt flesh feel better is what? Alcohol poured into the open wound. So Mr. Walker found out firsthand, screaming so hard I swear I heard banjos playing. Now, one of us has to run back to our house and grab some kind of ass ointment to help this poor guy. After, of course, we spent the next 20 minutes laughing so hard I personally pissed myself so bad I had to toss away my underwear, right? So, boys and girls, the moral of the story is life is short. Enjoy your farts before you're too old to laugh at them. Then you're just the old guy who shit himself, okay? Not funny.
That's right.
Now, as I came up with some, I mean, life is funny, and if I start to tell you all the shit that happened in my life, you would literally shit yourself, okay? But we're going to hold some of that for next week. I'm going to get on to this week's gaseous version of the lightning round. Buckle your seatbelts. Here we go. North Korea has announced that it will send a group of citizens called the Cheering Squad to next month's Winter Olympics. And many of them are expected to actually compete in a new event called the 400-meter defection. Oh, yes. Doctors are saying the result of President Trump's physical revealed that he is borderline obese. In fairness, he did promise us growth. After the results of it were released, many Americans are claiming President Trump is lying about his weight. In other words, maybe he really is one of us. Professional race car driver Danica Patrick is dating again after breaking up with her previous boyfriend, who was a NASCAR driver. When asked why that relationship didn't work out, Patrick explained, "We were just going in circles." President Trump is now claiming his approval rating among black Americans has doubled. In other words, Ben Carson has voted twice. Oh, yes.
Damn.
The big story last week was that Congress had just 1 day left to prevent a government shutdown. But not to worry, it only affected non-essential government employees like park rangers, museum guides, and the president. So no harm done, right? But I guess Congress had about 24 hours to pass a short-term spending bill if they wanted to avoid a shutdown. Trump told them to do their jobs. Then they went back to announcing the winners of the made-up awards show. That's what we do, right? The other night, Trump tweeted a link. Try that 3 fucking times fast. Last night, Trump tweeted a link to his fake news award page, but for a while it wouldn't load. His IT guy was like, "Sorry, my trolls can only build so fast." Trump named the New York Times, ABC News, and CNN as the top 3 reporters of fake news. His top 3 reporters of real news were Fox News, his Magic 8-Ball, and Snapple Top Caps. Trump actually has 2 cell phones that his staff nicknamed Trump 1 and Trump 2. Sounds a little like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. What do you think, right? Trump wrote his own Dr. Seuss book. I bet you didn't know this about himself. We got a copy, all right? Check this out. It says, "The day was beginning, I rolled up my sleeves. I put on my tie that goes past my knees. Too cold to go out, too hyper to snooze, so I sat in the house and binge-watched Fox News. I ate some McDonald's, I ate KFC. I ate more McDonald's and more KFC. I went to the doctor, he said everything's fine, but even I doubt I weigh 239. This is new. In Boston, there are 2 new axe-throwing bars that are going to open this year. Axe-throwing bars, right? Boston's getting a new bar where people can try axe throwing. So far, all the customers give it 1.5 thumbs up. I can't. Sunday, the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Jaguars, Tom Brady injured his hand. People said, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, you know that new axe-throwing bar in Boston?"
Yeah.
President Trump claimed that he scored higher on his cognitive tests than all his predecessors. His psychological tests could use a little work, though, okay? They showed him 3 Horseshack images. Hillary Clinton in prison. Hillary Clinton in prison. A butterfly talking to Hillary Clinton in prison. Now, following several postponements, Vice President Mike Pence will finally begin his trip to the Middle East. Apparently, it took him a long time to get his face to show up in front of a white background for his passport photo. In a new interview, White House Special Counsel Ty Cobb said that he expects the Russia investigation to wrap up in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Though based on his mustache, he's not great at estimating how long something is going to last. And this week was National Winnie the Pooh Day, which is why I'm not wearing any pants to celebrate. A funeral home in Canada, this is for you, Catboy, a funeral home in Canada is reportedly under investigation after they cremated the wrong woman's body. Even after she told him, "Stop, I'm the wrong woman!"
Oh, shit.
President Trump's border wall is back in the news because while speaking to the Hispanic caucus in Washington, Chief of Staff John Kelly told lawmakers that when Trump promised voters a Mexican border wall during his campaign, he had not been, quote, fully informed. Now, to be fair, not fully informed could literally describe any statement Trump has made since the year 2003. Trump immediately shot back at this, saying his plan for a border wall remains the same. He tweeted, "The wall is the wall. It has never changed or evolved from the first day I conceived of it." Great, now the fucker thinks he invented walls. Him and Al Gore ought to get together, who invented the internet. I can't believe this. Trump and his chief of staff are fighting in public. But I got to say, what I'm really looking forward to is what nickname Trump is going to use when he eventually attacks General Kelly on Twitter. Right now, my money's on Smelly Kelly. But I should say, if you're a betting person, here are the current Vegas odds right now. Jelly Belly Kelly is 2-1, while John, as in John the Toilet, is 6-1. A dark horse at 11-1 is Kellyanne Johnway, and at 16-1, gaining pace is Genital John Kelly. So place your bets. Good luck, everyone. The doctor earlier this week said he would recommend Trump exercise more. The president said that he gets, quote, more exercise than people think. Does he? I'm not sure backpedaling on campaign promises counts as exercise. What do you think? Although many doctors agree that Trump tweets so furiously, it technically counts as cardio, right? And finally, Touch Magazine is set to drop a 5,000-word interview with porn star Stormy Daniels about a 2006 affair when she allegedly had sex with Donald Trump. Now, I have a preview. All 5,000 words are ew, 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 ew. That's my set. I'm sticking to it.
Yay!
Yay, Grun.
Yay!
Great set.
That was great.
All right. Synnove, you have some jokes to tell? You can tell them from your seat.
Okay, I'll tell them from my seat. Although I didn't really crash, I kicked the power switch. I will admit that.
I wasn't even telling on you, Synnove. I didn't even tell on you. Oh.
It was Oli who did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, here's another one about Ole. He recently won the famous Norwegian $1 million lottery. He gets $1 a year for 1,000,000 years. So, did you hear about the Norwegian burglar who broke into the Elks Club? He was apprehended because he signed the guest book on the way out. There was an insurance salesman. He was saying to Ole, now before we complete this policy, do you want an ordinary life? And Ole says, well, I would like to fool around a little on a Saturday night. There was a Norwegian, he was attending a play, and he decided to leave after the first act. And he explained why. He says, well, it says on the program, Act 2, 9 months later. And I don't have time to wait, so I'd better get going. Okay. There was this Norwegian. He was taking a chicken home for egg laying and eventually a Sunday dinner. And on the way home, he thought he'd taken a movie he wanted to see. So he tucked the chicken down into his trousers so that the management wouldn't see. And he sat down next to two women. And during the show, the chicken got restless and stuck its head out of the zipper. One of the gals, she spied the sight in the dark theater, and she leaned over to report that the Norwegian was exposing himself. And well, her friend says, why, Mabel, haven't you ever seen one before? And Mabel says, yeah, I certainly have, but this is the first one that ever tried to eat the popcorn out of my sack. And that's all I got for Ole tonight.
Yay! Get up for Synnove!
Yay, Synnove!
Yeah!
For some Russian jokes.
Russian jokes. You have Russian
Okay.
jokes?
What Russian joke?
Get up there and tell them.
All right, I go.
Yay! Do it.
I go.
You're going now.
Come on, win we.
This
Wins.
is not my Boris Bedinov costume, but it will have to do.
That's not very Russian.
Moose and squirrel. Make good borscht. Oh, this is a Russian joke. Ivanov wanted to buy a car. He went into the official Moscow agency and put down his money, and was told that he could take delivery of his automobile in exactly 10 years. Morning or afternoon? Asked Ivanov. 10 years from now, what difference will it make? Replied the clerk. Well, Russian, the plumber's coming in the morning. If you're not Russian, you don't get it. What happens when you drink too many Black Russians? You get hammer and sickle cell anemia.
Gosh.
What do you see when you look at a Soviet ballerina through a keyhole? Russian dressing. Boris went to work at the factory one morning. Comrade, said the fellow worker, you look terrible. What happened to you? I came home last night and found a KGB agent in my bed with my wife, said Boris. What did you do? I was lucky. He didn't see me. I don't get it unless it was, what's his name? Men in Russian. Gorbachev, right? That one? I can't remember. Russian lullaby. She was just a communist daughter, but everyone got his share. These are starting to stink. One last one. The French, English, and Russian doctors were discussing difficult operations. Brain surgery is the most difficult, said the Frenchman. Heart surgery gives me the most trouble, said the Englishman. I, said the Russian, think a tonsillectomy is more difficult than either of them. Tonsillectomy? Asked the other two. Yes, said the Russian. People in Russia have to keep their mouths shut, and we doctors have to perform the operation through the ear.
All right, I got a couple jokes to tell, and then we're gonna wrap it up with a garbage bag. It's okay. I don't know if that works. Heard it does. Okay, anyway. Speaking of love, you all know that Valentine's Day is coming up soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The man here with this kind of lady, little lucky lady. Are you ready to? Okay, anyway. You know, if it's not Valentine's Day and you see a man in a flower shop, you can probably start up the conversation by going, "Bro, what did you do, man? What'd you do?
What'd you do?
You did it now."
Or in your cases, Randy, how much trouble are you in now?
Yeah.
Thank you for that donation, Scout.
There it goes.
If you're looking for the best time to spill things on yourself, might I suggest wearing a white shirt right before an interview for a job? Yeah, that always goes really good, right? Okay.
White pants too.
Yeah, white pants too. That way. Yeah, make sure you have the coffee and you spill on your back so it looks like you shit your pants. All right, how many alcoholics does it take to change a light bulb?
No.
2. 1 to hold the bulb, and 1 to drink until the room starts spinning.
Yeah.
You know, it just spins itself up there. You don't have to do any work. All right, a boy is talking to a girl, and he's all like, "I got a pen. You got a phone number. Think of the possibilities." Girl's like, "Yeah? Well, I got a knife, and you have a face. Think of the casualties." You know, women will never be equal to men until they can walk down the street with a bald head and a beer gut and still think they're sexy. I challenge you to do that. Challenge you. Who was the first? Yeah. Who was the first dude to see a cow and think, "I wonder what will happen if I squeeze those dangly things and drink whatever comes out of it"? You know, I saw 6 men kicking and punching my mother-in-law. And my neighbor was like, "Are you going to help?" I was like, "Nah, man, 6 probably is enough." And my last joke for the night, and we're going to end it a little early, but I was at a restaurant, and I noticed my waitress had a black eye. So I ordered very slowly, because obviously she doesn't listen. Yeah. And with that, I'm going to end the night. But thank you, Doc Grun. Thank you, Why Not, for the jokes. Thank you, Synnove.
Yeah, thanks.
Obviously, every Tuesday night.
Hope to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. That's all time. We have comedy here. Tomorrow night we have comedy at Lauren Live. The host, Catboy, 5 p.m. That's all time. Then Thursday night, about 4,000 meters below us, we have Match Game, also hosted by Catboy. Kun Hua! And
wow.
And then that's it. So everybody, thank you all so much for coming.
Yay!
Hope y'all had a good time.
Great show.
Thank you.
I came to the big old city, now I know when it's so. I had a little bit of weed and a couple of rolls. Pop 1, pop 2, pop 3, pop 4. And I was buzzing like a bee on my bedroom floor. I got up, I had to hit the town. I got up, goddamn, I had to get on down. I had all this love in my bones and nowhere to go. So you can cut my hair and the way you like. You can use the scissors. Nice. Baby, it's all good. It's alright. I just wanna be touched by another life. I just wanna be touched by another life. I just wanna be touched by another life. said hi, and he just looked back at me like, don't fuck my wife. I seen the man walking on down the street. I said, what's up, dude? He looks down at his feet. I got up, I had to hit the town. I got up, but goddamn, I had to get on down. I had all this love in my bones and nowhere to go. So you can cut my hair and the way you like. You can use the scissors.